questions. We'll start with Mike Reese, followed by Chris Ryan.
Morning, Jerod. How you doing? Doing
Morning,
great.
Mike. I'm doing well. How are you?
I just wanted to circle back on something from last night's press conference at the end when you were asked about offensive line. I think that the end of the answer, you said, we have another preseason game coming up. We're going to play. The only way you're going to get better at football is to play. I was just wondering, was that specific to offensive line, or were you thinking more like holistically as an offense in that final preseason game, like Jacoby, Drake, same type of approach?
Yeah, I was talking more holistically. I think the entire offense definitely needs to play and continue to gel, and that's what we're going to do.
And then a quick follow-up on Drake. When just going back through the game, was there a play or something that happened in the game that you could point to that reflected like his growth or his learning, that he had taken a mistake he had made before or a play he didn't make before that showed up in the game?
Yeah, some of the things that happened during, the last couple of weeks was just stepping up into pressure. And I thought he did a better job overall, with using his legs and really extending plays. And he made some good throws. We didn't come down with the catch, but he definitely took a step forward. The sack happened, the defensive end got chipped inside. Just that miscommunication, to see him take a hit like that is definitely unfortunate. But I would say as a whole, I thought he moved around a lot better.
Next question, Chris Ryan, followed by Dakota Randall.
Morning, Jerod. Hope all is well with you. In that same answer, you kind of raised a hypothetical in regard to the starting quarterback position, and there was some ifs involved in regard to Drake potentially beating Jacoby out. Do you see this as being a competition between the two of them right now as to who's going to be the starting quarterback against Cincinnati?
I do. We have 3 more days of training camp practices, and it's our job as coaches to evaluate, and the competition isn't over. They're still going to go out there, and they have to show not only their, themselves and the coaches, but also their teammates. So it's definitely still a competition.
You mentioned, the strides that Drake has taken and his development so far. What additionally do you need to see from him to be comfortable that he could be, your guy on opening day?
Yeah, I think first and foremost is just the entire operation. I think it needs to be faster. I think he needs to, get those guys in the huddle faster, get them out of the huddle faster, and get to the line and be, and just be on point. I think that's definitely a thing that he has to work on, and I think he is. And like I said, we have 3 more days of camp, and that's going to be my point of emphasis for him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question, Dakota Randall, followed by Nick O'Malley.
Morning, Jerod.
Morning.
I saw Josh Uche playing into the second half last night. Just wondering, did that have anything to do with the scuffle that we saw in the joint practice?
No, it didn't have anything to do. Look, that wasn't a fight. So when I was talking about a fight, I'm talking about punches being thrown. Now, scuffles, they happen all the time. It was a bunch of pushing and shoving, but that had nothing to do with it.
Okay. And was there any update on Jaquay Jackson after the?
Yeah, I should have probably started with that. So, obviously a scary incident on the field. The x-rays came back negative, and he'll be getting an MRI this morning. So as soon as I get more information, I will share it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nick O'Malley, followed by Doug Kide.
Hi, Jerod.
Hey, Nick.
Last night we talked about contact that quarterbacks were taking on running around. Is there any? What's your approach going to be in the final preseason game and talking to quarterbacks about how much time they spend on the move and how much they're looking for avoiding contact?
It's not. I mean, look, you never want to see your quarterback, take a lot of shots in the game, but it is part of the game, and that's what makes quarterbacks special. The ones that can get smacked and just get right back up and move on to the next play. So we can't take insurance out on the guys. They're going to go out there and play, and they're going to go out there and compete.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Doug Kide, followed by Phil Perry.
Hi, Jerod. Just following up on the questions about the quarterback competition. Can you envision seeing Drake take first-team reps over the last 3 training camp practices?
We'll see. We'll have a staff meeting later on today, and that decision will be made. I do think, he definitely showed improvement yesterday as a whole, and we'll see what happens going forward.
Has there been anything specific keeping him from taking those first team reps, or is that just what the plan had been up to this point?
Yeah, this has just been the plan that we put together, and you have to adjust those plans based on the competition, but that definitely is the development plan for Jerod.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bill Perry, followed by Mike Reese.
I just want to ask you what you thought of Jacoby's night last night. What did you see on the interception in the end zone? I don't know if the timing was off there. He just tried to force something. What did you see on that one?
Yeah, it was just forcing the play. We had other guys open on that play. It was a poor play. It was a terrible play, and we can't have those. Especially when you have guaranteed points on the board, right? You have it turns from all right, we got a field goal already pretty much secured to now really being a 7-point play by turning the ball over. So just a poor play overall. And I think if you asked Jacoby, he would say the same thing.
And then just a quick follow-up on Drake. On the fumbled snap, could you shed any light on why that one happened?
Yeah, so we had 3 quarterback center exchanges. I mean, you can sit here and say whose fault it is, but it's both of them. It's a problem between the quarterback and the center, and we definitely have to get better at that. I mean, that's part of the preseason is to make sure that we're good on our quarterback center exchange, and you have to get used to taking snaps from other people outside of David Andrews, and we just got to do a better job and rep that more. But that was one of the more disappointing things. Just how many times the ball was on the ground.
Thanks, Rod.
Thank you.
Mike Reese, followed by Dakota Randall.
Jerod, what are you seeing from the kicking competition?
Yeah, I mean that one. We had there was a good kick last night. It's still up in the air. Like I said, it's our job to evaluate not only the coaches but also the scouts, and we're going to try to put pressure on those guys this week and see who kind of comes out on top.
Looks like 2 final questions here: Dakota Randall and Mike Giardi.
Jerod, I'm just wondering what you saw from Raekwon McMillan last night, and I guess how nice is it to see him stacking success after all he's gone through the last few years?
Yeah, I would just say tone setter. He went out there on special teams and defense and made a bunch of plays. He was coming downhill. When we talk about block destruction, he was flying around, and I love to see it. I know what he's been through the last couple of years, and it was good to see him out there playing good ball.
Looks like the final question will be Mike Giardi.
Good morning, Jerod.
Morning.
I was wondering, first of all, are there any updates on John Jones and Marcus Jones, just in regards to, it's been a little while since we've seen either one of those guys get?
Yeah, I would say both of those guys are very close to returning.
And then with them out, it's obviously been a greater opportunity for someone like Alex Austin, Isaiah Bolden, Marco Wilson. Has any one of those 3 sort of stepped forward maybe in that group, in that competition, to sort of establish themselves as the next guy?
This is, the frustrating part is it depends on what day you kind of look out there. And it's up and down. And, it's about consistency in this league, as you know, and we're looking for consistency, opposite of Gonzo.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.